Yo guys, what up? It's your boy AMG Dens and we're back with a legendary stream on F1 Manager 2022. We're here in Japan. Lewis is on pole. George is starting from second place, although I suspect he's going to get some sort of penalty because we changed his gearbox before the race. But yeah, looking forward to it. Both on one-stop strategies. They've done some upgrades to this game as well. So you can't just basically one stop and inshallah the strategy. I think they're trying to force people to try and consider doing the two stop more often now, so it's going to be interesting to see if it punishes us for sticking with the very conservative one stop. But either way, I hope you guys are keeping well, having a great weekend. Man like MJ in the building, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining, bro. And also Lazar as well, man. Thank you so much for joining too, guys. I know yesterday you were expecting a stream as well, but life caught up with me yesterday, man. So it was a bit busy, but I'm really thankful for your understanding, patience, and yeah, excited because we got two streams today. So we're gonna stream F1 Manager, and then later this evening we're gonna do the GOAT Championship mode, of course, with Sir Lewis Hamilton. So without further ado, let's get into the show.
A somewhat overcast day for the drivers who've now taken position on the grid. And here we've got Lewis Hamilton. They're in P1. Let's see if they can take advantage of that position. And here we can see Russell. They're in second place on the grid, but that could so easily change in the first few seconds of the race. The race start is mere seconds away. Get ready. It's the Japanese Grand Prix. It's lights out, and away we go.
Lewis off to a good start. Just gonna stay and watch behind him. Perfect. Oh, MJ, nice to hear that things are going quite well in your side of the country, bro. It's always nice to hear. The motherland, Albania, and that. And Mary in the chat as well. What's going on, Mary? Thank you so much for joining us too. So, I was expecting.
So struggling with tire temps at the moment. Yeah, Roger.
I was suspecting George Russell to get some sort of penalty, but he didn't. So, I'm not going to complain too hard about that. I'm going to tell Lewis to push and use some deploy.
And think about left lifting coast.
Okay.
But hopefully we can get another productive Mercedes 1-2.
Tires are getting hot.
Yeah, copy.
Got Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez at the back of the grid. Perez actually don't know what happened to him. I think it was like a engine penalty, and I think Max crashed into somebody in practice, and the stewards gave him a 10 grid penalty, so he's starting from the back of the grid. But it looks like we're going to be having a good race today. Hopefully no drama. For Lewis, it's going to be a quite tight one for him. He's on the one stop starting on the soft tires, and he's going to go to the mediums. Nearly out of DRS already, which is nice. Mary, how have you been though? What have you been getting up to over the weekend? Oh snap, I forgot there was some friendly football matches yesterday. Bro, what was the score, man? You guys lost to Israel. Oh no. Man, you guys are slacking. It's just a friendly, right, though? Because it's not for the World Cup. It's like the UEFA Super Cup, or is it the Cup of Nations? Some kind of miscellaneous thing like that, bro. There's so many different international competitions these days. But as long as it's not the World Cup or the Euros, I usually don't pay attention. Alright, gonna tell Lewis take it easy with his ERS. Don't want him to completely smash the engine. How his tyre temps looking?
DRS has been enabled.
Brilliant. Tell Lewis to up his pace a bit.
And let's push.
Yep.
So as long as Lewis is a second ahead of Russell, that's pretty good news for me. England lost to Italy as well. Ah, they're scrubbing. They're in a mud, MJ, man. They lost to Italy twice in the space of like a year and a bit, man. And the UEFA Nations League. That's it. That's the one I was thinking about, bro. Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, bro. Like, it's good that there's more international games, because I guess it gives the players more opportunities to, you know, appear for their countries. But at the same time as well, if it's not the World Cup or it's not the Euros, man, don't care. I'm joking. I don't mind it, man. Like, if it's on the TV, I'll check. But other than that, yeah. Mary says, I'm good. Looking forward to Singapore. Scotland won its race week. Yes, go Tiffy no more. And yes to Nick De Vries at Williams. Finally seen sense. Absolutely, Mary, absolutely. That's probably been the talk of the week too. Young Nick De Vries finally, you know, getting his opportunity in Formula 1, it seems. I mean,
Increase in lift and coast.
Understood.
hasn't been confirmed fully quite yet. Nope. Hasn't been fully confirmed. But it's more likely that Nick De Vries is going to get a drive, especially if Williams have made such a statement of intent to get rid of Latifi. So, very interesting times ahead. And Lazar said, who is your favorite driver? Bro, I mean, the guy you see on screen right now, he ticks a lot of boxes for me, man. He's really fast. He's got a lot of championships. He's given us many years of entertaining racing. He does some amazing stuff off the circuit as well. I'd have to say Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher, Pablo Montoya, Kamui Kobayashi. Yeah, those are some of my favorites. But how about you, Lazar? What's your favorite? Who's your favorite driver, or who would you say are your top 3 favorite drivers if you had to pick 3? Mary said mine is Sir Lewis, of course, as denoted by the wallpaper as well. I like Mary's wallpaper as well. It's a really cool picture of Lewis. On the topic of which as well, guys, I was doing episode for the podcast. Shout out the podcast, Stripping the Dipping podcast, in the description below. But yeah, we were speaking about the worst 3 drivers in Formula 1 history. So if I had to ask you guys, who are your least, or who are the worst drivers in F1 history, who would you guys say? Be interested to know in the chat. Mary saying Nigel Mansell as well. Yeah, great choice, great choice.
Yeah, copy. There's only so much I can do.
Alright, let's go on board with George.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
Tell him to attack.
We're going to push hard.
Copy.
Time to use some fuel.
Reduce lift and coast.
Copy.
And Lazar said you've been watching since 2018. Bro, it's a good time to get into F1, man. Ferrari had that challenge on Mercedes that year. So it was like Seb versus Lewis. Max as well was getting more kind of acclimatized to life at Red Bull with Daniel Ricciardo. MJ said Lewis Goldmerton. Oh, you know, bro. Mary said her least favorite driver is Nelson Piquet and Junior and Josh Verstappen. Yeah, those are good choices, to be fair. Yo, what's up, Donny? Thank you so much for joining us, man. It's nice to see you in here as well, bro. Just having a conversation about this as well, Donny. You might have missed it. In your opinion, bro, who's the worst 3 drivers in F1 history? We're having a discussion about this on the Stripping the Dipping podcast, and some very interesting names came out. Shout out to Thanos. So, Yeah, it was a really good episode. Unfortunately, Georgina's internet couldn't hold out. We're making a couple of jokes about Karun Shandok, and I don't think her internet liked it too much. So, we've got a second interview or a second episode coming up with Thanos, which should be interesting. Yo, man, like Super Kev in the building as well. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining us, bro. So the F122 stream, bro, is later this evening, so around 7 o'clock UK time. You missed the intro as well, man. I was saying, I was really sorry I couldn't do a stream yesterday. Life just took ahead, as it does. But yeah, man, like super excited to be back later on today with another stream in relation to the F122 game, man. I was looking at the weather forecast and it's saying it should rain in one of the sprint races for Imola, so that's gonna be sketchy as hell, but we give it our best shot. Right. Gonna tell Russell just to take it easy with the tires because they're overheating. And Jess is in the chat as well. What's up, Jess? Thank you so much for joining us too. It's always amazing to see Jess in the chat. Jess, how's your weekend been with no Formula 1 again? Has the post F1 lack of racing blues hit, or have you managed to find yourself busy throughout this time? Let us know.
You're doing a very good job.
I love how Kevin and MJ are doing the Ronaldo Sues in the chat as well. Let me get Sue.
Mercedes moved up a place.
You know what? I think I'm going to be clever here. Because Lewis is on the soft tires right now,
So use these tires.
I think what we can do
Copy.
is use Russell as a buffer to Sainz. Alright, Lewis. Just hold back on the pace a bit. I'm going to instruct Russell to hold back Sainz. What I want to do is basically create a nice margin for Lewis, like a buffer in the event that a safety car comes out and we have to basically double stack these two cars. What's worked out really nicely for us is both the Red Bulls got a penalty at the beginning of the race. So Perez got a penalty for, I think, engine changes, and Verstappen as well got a 10 grid penalty for crashing in practice and taking somebody out, I think through 130R. So can't complain about that too. Oh, have you never seen a race around Singapore, Jess, live? Oh my god, you're in for a treat. It's always a bit kind of chaotic at Singapore. There's always some kind of like madness that unfolds. Kevin says Russell swoops past Sainz. Swoop! Yep, Mercedes 1-2. That's how we like it, but we don't want to get too carried away. Race is still quite young. Jess says, if it gets boring, I'm turning it off. Well, that's unfortunately the possibility as well. I've heard that Mercedes have quite a few tricks up their sleeves, but I think we've heard Mercedes having a couple of tricks up their sleeves like a couple of times this year. So I wouldn't count on that being, you know, the be-all and end-all. But hopefully it'll be an entertaining race, you know, for the sake of the championship. As dominant as Max has been with the B18, it'd be interesting to see the championship go down a couple more races. And it's going to be Imola, Lazar. Yeah, Kevin's correct. It's going to be Imola. So the funny thing about Imola is that you've got basically two races. You've got qualifying, then a sprint race, and then a normal race as well. So as far as I know, the sprint race is going to be in intermediate or wet conditions. So yeah, that's going to be really, really, really sketchy. Because as you guys know, if you play F1 2022, it's so difficult to drive those cars in the wet. It's difficult to drive them in the actual dry, for God's sake, you know, let alone in the wet. So that's going to be a lot of drama. MJ said, have you heard leaks then that they're going to do an Albanian Grand Prix? Bro, I haven't heard, but bro, if they do a race in Albania, that would be sensational, man. It'd be really good to get Albania on the grid. You know, we go to Azerbaijan. I think there was a European Grand Prix in some part of Spain a couple of years ago too, but that got abandoned. But yeah, we don't go to many, you know, tracks like, you know, Albania. Or places like Albania, you know. It'd be nice to get Albania on there. Nice to get Romania on there. Nice to get Poland on there. I've got a few Polish friends, a few Romanian friends, and a couple of Albanian friends too. So that'd be nice. Donny said, I'm going through my renewals. Just set up the sim last night. Hey, man like Donny. Had a glimpse at the new Logitech Direct Drive Racing Elephant Wheel and went. Bro, did you order it, Donny? Let me know, Donny. Let me know if you ordered it, man. Because, yeah, the new Logitech steering wheel, it's split a lot of opinion. It's a lot more powerful than the Fanatec setup that I have. I think it produces 11 Newton meters of torque, which is nuts. It feels like you're in the gym. But at the same time as well, man, that thing is pretty much bigger than, like, Max Verstappen's head. So, that's going to be interesting. Let's see. Mary says, Lazar, Singapore, Lewis gonna win. I hope so. He needs that first race win of the season, Mary. I can't bear to see Lewis go an entire season without winning a race. Oop. Science goes past as well, so we're gonna instruct Russell to up his pace a bit.
Pick up the pace.
Copy.
Kevin said if it's not boring I'm gonna blow up. And just said I watched the past races of there being there, but I started watching when COVID started, so I couldn't go. Aww. Yeah, it's crazy how COVID robbed us of a lot of things, you know. Like lots of people talk about how amazing it would have been to see Lewis in the W11 go around Suzuka, and unfortunately one of the fastest ever F1 cars never got to go around one of the fastest ever tracks in the world. So yeah, be a shame. Kevin said, if it's boring, I will blow up into Toto. Oh gosh, Kevin, have you got your desks ready? Have you got your desk ready for the Toto Slam? Donny said, this Japanese track looks smoother than the previous. Yeah, I don't know what it is, man. Like, graphically with this game, I think some tracks look really accurate, and some tracks just look different, I can't lie. On lap 28, change the tyres. Let's see. When are we actually due to change the tyres? So in Russell it's 10 laps, and for Lewis, 8 laps. So roughly around 19 laps before we change tyres. Ooh, Russell going down the inside. What a move by George Russell. Absolutely sensational stuff.
Keep doing this job.
And Lewis is just driving off in the distance as well, which is nice. Might tell Lewis that she saved some ERS.
Position gained for a Mercedes.
Discharge that pack.
Understood.
Ooh, Science coming down the inside of Russell.
I need clean air. I cannot do anything.
Alright, Russell, I hear you, man. Don't cry, bro. You see how Russell loves to cry? Anytime he loses a position, my guy starts crying. Go on, Russell. Right, Kevin said Romania would be good. Yeah, I think Romania would be amazing. Mary said Portugal. I'd love that track.
Advance the race position.
Yeah, to be fair as well, like when we went to Portimao, was it last year? It provided us with some phenomenal racing, and the track has so many elevation changes as well, so lots of fun. Donny said, it's ugly, but I'm gonna give it a go. So, I assume you're speaking about the new Logitech Direct Drive wheel, or Thrustmaster Direct Drive wheel, bro, which, again, is crazy. There's gonna be so much competition in the sim racing market for manufacturers, because for a long time, it's been Fanatec that have made all the best and the most competitive sim racing equipment. Yep, Mary says, Donny, all you can do is your best. Kevin said Portugal is already a track. I have a desk, mate. Man, you're gonna need that desk. You're gonna need that desk if you're gonna do your Toto Wolff impersonation, bro. And Kevin also said, I'm gonna karate chop if Mercedes lose or not get a podium at Singapore. Right. Russell's tyres are overheating, so we're going to just tell him to back off the pace a bit. Jess said, to be honest, all these look the same to me. I don't know, like, driving some of these circuits in the simulator, some of them, I think, they actually look better than the simulator. And some of them, I'm just like, nah, they kind of had a field day. But I like the kind of, like, artistic direction they took with the game. You know, when I jump onto this, I feel refreshed. Because it's, like, so different from all the other things me and Mike play, usually. Just gonna turn down the volume as well, because it's really loud in my headphones. Go on, George, go get him. Jesus, actually a battle happening behind as well, with Alonso, Ricardo, Ocon, a few other people as well, as George goes for an amazing move.
Well done. Proud of you.
Tell him, Mosconi, tell him.
It's a race position gained for Mercedes.
Mary said, I seen Lewis do the best qualifying lap in F1 history in 2018. Oi, that 2018 lap of Lewis was the sauce. That lap was sensational. Probably one of the best F1 laps you'll ever see, man. Like, it's just so on the limit, you know. Like, Singapore is such a hard track to master because the track temperatures are quite hot, although it's a night race. And then not even that as well, it's like a street circuit and it's really bumpy. So if you miss your braking zones or anything like that, then you're in a lot of trouble. But Lewis absolutely bossed it. Speaking of which, his ERS is fully charged. So just going to tell him to go on neutral. He's got a nice, comfortable 3-second gap.
Not charged.
Okay.
Tell him to pick up his pace as well, because he's just been kind of cruising, to be honest.
Just push.
Yep.
Making actually George do most of the work here, which is kind of funny. And as I said, Monaco is my favourite track. Hey man, Monaco is a fan favourite too. I know that the racing isn't really as entertaining because it's hard to overtake, but that's part and parcel of its like special charm. Just, you know, it's basically cars going around a circuit that is like almost like me riding a bicycle in a living room. It's so tight and narrow. Donnie said, love how track effects show in the cockpit when the wheel shakes. Yeah, man, that's the thing too. You get all those different sensations and stuff like that as well.
Tires are getting hot.
Okay, copy.
Man, look, bro. Lewis, bro, what are you? You're supposed to be the tyre whisperer, man. Jeez, don't kill the tyres already. I told my guy to just push a little bit, and the tyres are already overheating. Kevin with the rock and rolling. MJ, Albanian roads are so similar to F1, so the goal is to survive. I'm done. I'm so done. Just says, some parts of the track look like Hungary, Brazil, Imola. I'm getting confused. Alright, let's do a lap on board with George Russell then. In fact, better yet, let's do a lap with Lewis Hamilton. So he's coming up to 130R. A little funny fact for you guys as well. Suzuka is the one and only track on the grid which actually is a figure of 8. So if I move my comments, you'll see that the track kind of overlaps each other. It's like round, up, down, and then it comes back on itself here. There's obviously a bridge, so the cars don't T-bone each other, but it's the only track on the grid which has a figure of 8 design. It's really unique. But either way, with Suzuka, you got turn 1. So I try and move the comments. And then you got these S's, and I think this is what everybody gets super excited about because you're going at so many high speeds. See what speeds Lewis is doing. 220 kilometers. And then you got the Ferris wheel, bring it over to the left. Imagine if you have like a brake failure, a tire failure at this part of the track, you're finished. Then you're coming into the Degnas, Degna 1, Degna 2. Then I think this one's Spoon. And the reason why they call it Spoon is it genuinely looks like a spoon. So, no points or prizes there for the name. And then again, you just brake before the 50, turn the nose of the car in, down into 5th gear, and then you go down, and then you go up. And as you're going up, you're basically going over the bridge that was just underneath us a second ago. But yeah, Suzuka's a really timeless circuit. You can't go wrong with Suzuka. The only thing that bums me out is having to wake up super early to watch the race live. That's the only thing. Kevin said, imagine the drive to survive with Romania and Albania. Hey, they need to do it. They need to do it. Mary said, I'm looking forward to Papa Stroll and Mr. Salty for next year. That'll be fun. Yeah, oh gosh. That's gonna be, yeah, probably the end of Alonso's career, to be honest. Because, you know, with Alonso, the thing with him is he wants everything his own way. And you know that that's not going to be the case when he goes to Aston Martin. Obviously, that team is just based... Oh, no, Lewis! Man, what are you doing? I don't know what it is as well, you know. Lewis... Yeah, no, Crofty, he's run wide. God damn. He's not even... I've told the guy just to take it easy as well, you know, with light. And he still manages to drive wide off the circuit. Man like Lewis, you know. And now Sainz is only a second and a half behind as well. God damn it. Mike said, geez, my boy Dents with a Merc 1-2, bro. Lewis almost gave it away, man. Jeez. Drove the thing almost off the road. Watch Red Bulls in 13 and 14th, bro. That's your team, bro. That's your team. Although Perez has actually gone up a couple of places. I think because some people have pitted. So, not so bad for him. Mike, behave. Lazar said, best F1 car, Mercedes W11. Tell me about it, Lazar, man. The W11, it's just a beautiful car, bro. With that livery as well, amazing. Right, 3 laps until Lewis boxes. So, I'm going to tell him to push fairly soon. Oh, Sainz goes in. Just going to tell Lewis to pick up his pace.
And we'll push.
Play some ERS as well. Lewis, I beg you, please don't crash my car, bro.
And think about less lifting coast.
Just said 1 AM. Jeez. Is that the time the Japanese Grand Prix starts for you? Oh, Donny as well. Mike, Red Bull follower. It's true though. Sometimes I genuinely wonder if Mike is Christian Horner's adopted son. Genuinely, the stuff the guy comes up with, I wouldn't be surprised. Put it that way. Mary says, Hammer time, you know it. I wish they had Bono's Hammer time radio message as well. That'd be super cool. MG said Albania made the right choice to choose Mercedes as the most popular car brand. Bro, that's the thing. That's the thing, bro. Like, if Mercedes had gone to Albania when they were still dominant, boy, the sales of Mercedes in Albania would have just gone up exponentially. And that says a lot considering that Mercedes is like one of the highest or one of the most popular cars in Albania anyways.
You have fastest lap.
Hey, get in there, Lewis. Lewis is putting in that work. Mike said, damn Donny, that's sad to hear. I haven't done my job if I'm not hated. You see, Mike just wants to be the villain, bro. He just wants to be the villain. Wants to be the bad guy.
Just gonna need some lift and coast.
Yeah, gonna take it easy on the fuel a bit. But we still got 50% on these tires, so Lewis did really well at managing them. So the pit window's in 1 lap's time. So I think that's just like the window for the pit opening for us. And then I think the actual lap we're going to come in might be 2 laps after that as well. With Lewis, I just want to basically extend so we don't get undercut by Sainz. And Russell, I just want to use Russell as basically a stopgap. Because I need to take points off of Leclerc and Sainz if we want Lewis to win the championship this season. Bear in mind, Lewis has, I think, won 3 races so far, or 4 races this season. Russell hasn't won any races this season, so as much as I am trying to be as fair as I can to Russell, there's no chance he's going to win the championship, so he basically just has to be a wingman for this season anyway.
So we are low on battery at the moment.
Alright, we'll recharge that in a bit. Mary said, Mike, I can easily hate you, you know, low. And then Mike said, thanks, Mary, now I'm feeling better. I'm so done. Honestly, like, Mike is like the Dutch version of Thanos, you know. Ooh, there's a yellow flag. Who's caused it? Who's going slowly? Who's got their bets on Latifi?
Yellow.
Ah, that's Vettel. Okay.
Let's see what happened there.
Not the usual
Taking
suspect.
a look again, it involves Sebastian Vettel.
That's
They've
clumsy.
spun the car. What a disaster.
The way Crofty said, what a disaster.
That's going to be a big blow to the team. Will they be able to recover? We'll see.
Well, probably not, but that's Sebastian's Vettel's headache anyway. Tell Lewis to go neutral. Alright, Lewis, take it easy, buddy. So what I learned the other day as well, guys, when I was going through some Reddit posts, is if the drivers come on the radio and say that the tyres are getting hot, it means that they're more likely to make a mistake. So if that does happen, all you have to do is click on the command and then just tell them to just ease off on the pace a bit. So he wasn't aggressive, now we're just going to put him on standard. And yeah, Lazar, I think what we'll do, we'll put Lewis onto the hards. And I think we're just going to put Russell onto the hards as well. Because if we went to the mediums, for Lewis, it'd be, I think, very... Actually, let's see. Yeah, no, we're going straight to the hards, yeah. I think if we went to the mediums, it'd be really, really marginal for one stop. I really want to see if we could one-stop this as well. Because we got some good track position ahead of the Ferraris and both of the Red Bulls too, which is still outside of the top 10, which is crazy for the championship. Ooh, another yellow flag.
Got a yellow flag.
Oh, it's Schumacher this time.
Let's take a closer
So
look.
first it was the uncle,
Watch this.
and now it's the
There's
nephew.
Schumacher. That looks like a very nasty spin.
Ooh, if he went any further, he was going straight into that wall. Donny said Vettel spins in Japan. Sounds about right. History repeating. I remember that, Donny. That's when he was at Ferrari, isn't it? He's at Ferrari, and he needed to get a result, or else Lewis is going to basically walk away with the championship in Japan. And then he's just too aggressive. And I remember he tried to go around outside of Verstappen, which is never going to work. And he spun. I do remember that. Mike Fowler, the Aston members reacting like he just did a Hockenheim. Oh my days. Oh, I love Mike, man. Even when you don't want to laugh at something or when something's really savage, Mike will make you laugh. That's the thing. But yeah, Donny said Ferrari, yeah. I remember that. Man. That's crazy. That was really crazy. MJ's trolling Mike as well. Mike, 13 and 14, super good. Listen, Red Bull are in the mud. And it's crazy because in qualifying, the Red Bulls, I think, have 2 or 3 temps on the Mercedes and the Ferraris. But in race pace, the car doesn't seem to be effective in clean air. So it just seems like they're stuck. And bear in mind, Vettel the span. So they should be ahead of Vettel. Why they're behind Vettel, God could only tell you. Either way, it's not my problem. So Lewis should be boxing this lap. So before we forget, let's do it now. Just going to jump on the hards. And box this lap. Box.
So, box.
So this lap?
Yep, Lewis. This lap. naturally, we've got Russell that can start using some deploy and start pushing on those tires as well. So we're going to stay on board with Lewis.
So use those tyres.
Copy.
Alright, come on Mercedes boys. Come on, give us a nice stop. Nice sub 3 second stop would be nice. Alright, come on, release him, release him. Nice. Nice. Alright, we're going to get ahead of Sainz. Let's see. Yeah, I think that is Sainz there. We're going to get out well ahead of Sainz. Alright, go on Lewis, go on, push, push, push. Nice. Alright, tell Lewis to push and use some fuel. Excellent. This has been a Mercedes dominance. I love it. MJ said, I'm going to be the first Albanian F1 driver. Bro, I'd love to see it, man. That's the thing. I don't think we've ever had a Romanian F1 driver. Like, we barely had a Polish driver and like Robert Kubica. So it'd be interesting to see some of the other European guys get on the grid at some stage. Because I'm sure they exist. Donny said, hard to hate him, low. Good luck, Mary. Mary said, Mike, who the FIA? They will help out Red Bull. Mike said, I'm trying, but I can't reach Michael Massey for some reason. Listen, I heard Michael Massey's MIA. I heard they put Michael Massey in FIA witness protection because Mary was after his head. So, yeah, Mike, I don't think you're going to get through to Michael Massey. Right, so being told that the optimal lap for George to box is this lap. So, come on in then, George. And you can go into the hards as well.
You're fastest man on track.
Ooh, what a lap from George.
Box, box, box.
Yes, box.
Mike said maybe we are late with our Red Bull cans delivery or something. Oh, you know, the typical installment of Red Bull cans. Tell George to take it easy, don't want him to crash. Mary said Mike first warning, don't mention Massey. Oh gosh, I love the banter inside here, it's amazing. I wonder where George is going to come out though. I don't want him fighting with Lewis, I just want him to do a job and hold up Sainz. But then again, I don't want him to hold up Sainz too much because it's Leclerc that's leading the championship. So the more points that Sainz takes away from Leclerc, the better for Lewis.
Tires are getting hot.
Okay,
Alright Lewis,
copy.
take it easy brother. Because if you crash my car, I'm going to be fuming. Because he's done so well. MJ said, Mike, FIA is too busy. Maybe Red Bull needs some wings. They definitely need some wings in this championship, I can't lie. Because they're struggling to even score 1 point. Alright, George going in the pits, so let's go on board with him. We're going to go with cinematic camera. Come on, boys. Give us a nice stop for George too. Ah, that one was a bit... I want it more in the 2s. I don't want it in the 3s, but I'll take that anyway. Where's Lewis going to come out? So Lewis has just gone by. So there's Lewis. And there is George. Perfect. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. So I'm going to tell Lewis to just take it easy with the fuel.
Increase in lift and coast just a little.
Yep.
I can't lie though, it does make me scratch my beard slightly when I see the FIA president hugging Max like their boys or like it's his like son or something. It's It's a bit kind of strange, isn't it? But let me not say anything still. Alright guys, so it looks like it's going to be a nice, comfortable Mercedes 1-2 at the moment. We've still got over, or just under half of the race distance to go. But I think once we settle in a bit more, just going to tell Lewis just to save some ERS.
And just charge the pack.
Okay.
Going to tell George to push a bit. Let's build a bit of a gap to science.
Don't be afraid to use the tyres.
Yeah, copy.
And tell George just to use a bit of a
So charge your pack, keep the delta negative.
pack as well.
Copy.
And tell him to attack, pick up his pace.
Bring it.
Copy.
Jeez. Verstappen 2 seconds behind Ocon. You love to see it. Right, tires already overheating. The tires overheat really easily as Suzuka, man. It's crazy. Jeez. Is that how it is, Mike? Yeah? Like. Oh man, Mohammed just doesn't want to be friends with the Mer guys. Can't blame him. Jeez. That hurts. Can't lie, that one hurts. Mary's distributing those warnings. That's the thing I love with Mike though, he just finds things to trigger people about it. It's hilarious. Mike said, how many can I get? Oh man. Right, so what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna save up a bit of battery just in case the Ferraris try something slick and we need some extra boost later on in the race. But as soon as we save that up, I think I'm just going to fast forward the race a bit because it practically is some Mercedes domination. But I'm touching wood as I say that because I don't want to jinx it. Oh man, I love Mary. Ooh, MJ's in his feelings too. Yeah, Lazza man, don't remind me about that, bro. I'm gonna cry. I still can't believe my engine blew up on the last stream. Guys, if you haven't seen that as well, make sure you go and check out my last GOAT Mode Championship. The last couple of laps. I can't believe we ran out, like our engine exploded. The turbocharger failed. There were only a couple of laps left. Crazy, like literally on the pretty much the penultimate lap onto the final lap. We're leading the race and our engine died. Just hate to see it. Hate to see it. I'm gonna tell Russell to just pick up his pace a bit because he is starting to get hauled up by the Ferraris.
To charge.
Copy.
Mike said, "Damn, is that a treat, Mary?" Nah, I know how Latifi fell. Oh my days. Oh, you lot, something else, honestly. Right, so what we're gonna do, guys, we're gonna fast forward a bit because other than basically Science catching onto the back of Russell, I think we're fairly comfortable here. So let's fast forward a bit. At this stage of the race as well, I wouldn't even mind if Science overtakes Russell just so we can stay in the slipstream and save some battery. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. So let's harvest some battery.
Oh, and Ferrari just gained a place.
Ah, don't get too excited. Tell Lewis to go on neutral.
So no need to charge the pack.
Understood.
Nice, Lewis. Just gonna let George Russell charge up his pack as well. Tell him to pick up his pace. Tell him to use some fuel.
So use these tyres.
Coming.
Fast forward a bit. Right, George, you gotta kind of pick up your pace, bro. Leclerc's gonna be on the back of us at this rate. I tell Lewis to pick up his pace as well.
So watch out for DRS.
Yep, fine.
And MJ, please don't remind me, bro. Because you know what's bad as well? The turbocharger failed, right? So we basically got robbed out of a race win. And then on top of that as well, we had some upgrades for the W13 as well. Some reliability upgrades as well. Those failed too. So basically everything happened at once. Like, it was crazy. I think George might be in some trouble here. Just gonna tell him to go full pelt. Mike said, yeah, the guy still has nightmares. I really do, man. I need some counseling after what happened to me, because that was just so sad. Right, what tires are the Ferrari boys on? Okay, so they're on mediums. I don't know if they can go to the end on those tires. Either way, be interesting to see what happens. JR says my upgrades suck. They really do, bro. They really do. I think I need to write a scathing email to Toto Wolff. Because, bro, having an engine failure and then having the upgrades that were going to reduce the chances of the engine fail just puts it into perspective how much of a failure it's been. Ooh, El Perez.
So let's look at this. There's Sergio Perez, and they've gone wide, very wide. That's not ideal. Not ideal at all.
What's happened here?
And the team had such high today.
Is that Adrian Newey? Adrian Newey's looking stressed. I'm joking. It's not Adrian Newey, but still. Legend says his engines are still failing. Yo, MJ, man, you're going in. Man like Pave Kanato, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for joining, bro. Let's see inside here, man. I'm keeping well. How are you doing? I hope you're keeping well, Pavel. Thank you so much for joining us. Mike said MJ rubbing it in. Jeez. Oh, man. Mike acting up Mary. And JR said, I hope you're keeping well, Mary. Man, I love how I just have all of you guys together here as well, man. It's like having a huge family reunion with all of my F1 family. I love it.
Perez in the pit lane.
Oh, okay, so Perez is going for the two-stop then. I think. Oh, we'll find out soon enough. I think he is going to go to the two-stop. Russell's back within a second of Science, which is nice. I'll just tell him to take it easy with the tires if he crashes. Just tell him to save some ERS.
And increase lift and coast.
Copy.
So charge the pack.
Yeah.
Perfect. Hey, well, thank you, Donny, man. It's you guys as well. It's you guys as well that make the community, man. Honestly, without you, there is no AMG Den. So big shout out to all of you guys as well in here. As well, just showing love and appreciation. You know, like for me as well, people don't realize I'm a really introverted guy, man. I'm quite shy. So to come on here, you know, to put myself out there week in, week out, you know, and to have you guys join me, it's, you know, it means a lot to me. It really does. God damn, Lewis lost a lot of time behind that lap task. I think it's Schumacher. Schumacher, man, get out of the way. God damn. Mick, man, you suck. Oh, that nice gap that we had built to Sainz as well is gone.
So no need to charge the pack.
Copy.
Let's lift and coast.
Copy.
I really do, man. I really do. I really do, bro. Lazar, what's the strategy for the 4th episode of the GOAT Mode Championship? The strategy for the 4th episode of the GOAT Mode Championship, Lazar, is not to crash, because it's going to be a wet race. Or at least I think it's going to be a wet sprint race. So as I mentioned before, like these cars in the F1 2022 official game, they're very difficult to drive. You can't touch curbs. You can't get on the accelerator too soon. The AI have ridiculously high top speed and traction. So for me, that's just going to be driving smoothly, making as little mistakes as possible, and taking whatever we get. If we manage not to make any mistakes in the sprint race, then hopefully it's going to be dry for the actual race and we'll be able to get some positions, because I feel quite good with the car there. I'm going to tell George just to save some more ERS. Donny said one good thing to come out of Abu Dhabi 21. True.
Charge the pack.
Copy.
True, man. I think definitely when you look at the Abu Dhabi situation, it's not a moment in history that will ever be forgotten or remembered even for the right reasons. But having said that, I feel that the pain of it's brought a lot of people together, you know, and if that's one thing I can say, that's what I would definitely promote about this channel and this, all of you guys as well. MJ, Mike, you know, Donny, Mary, you know, all of you guys, Lazar, Jess as well. It's just brought everybody together in a really positive way. So that I can't complain about at all, man. It's always good to see that. Right, we're actually going to tell Lewis to push a bit, because the gap's barely a second and a bit.
Just push.
Okay.
And you better not crash.
And think about let's lift and coast.
Yep.
MJ, I just came to give Mike some shit. It's lovely to see he's already getting it. Jesus. Oh, man. Well, Mike wanted to be the villain. Ooh, Sainz has stopped. And Ferrari remembered his tires. It's good on Ferrari. But basically, I think that's going to solidify the 1-2 for us, guys. Like, unless there's a safety car now, they're in trouble. I don't understand why they didn't try to do the one-stop. So we can actually tell Lewis to back off his pace. Take it easy with the fuel. Could tell George Russell to stop saving ERS as well, because he's already ahead of Leclerc.
For hot and temps, just going to need some lift and coast.
Donny, Mike, go check his flaw on Checo and his dodgy. Oh my days, Mary and Checo and his dodgy flaw. MJ says, well guys, I failed the Drive to Survive challenge. Lol. Donny said everything about that team is dodgy. True. Lazar, the plan is to finish. Absolutely, Mary, I agree. Mike said, keep feeding me those tears. Oh my days. Oh man, Mike's in his real Thanos bag today. As I said, when will Russell change tyres? They're losing grip slowly. I think we just keep him out, man, because at the end of the day, what's the gap? Sainz has basically got to find 21 seconds just to catch up with Russell. I don't know if he's going to be able to do that, bro, in, like, what? Like, basically 15 laps? It's tall order. And we've got 70% life on the hards as well, so they can go a long while. So, I think we're in a good position. It looks like it might be another brilliant Mercedes 1-2, guys. Just have to see how things play out. Leclerc's in the pits as well. Ooh, and Sainz gets the undercut.
Okay, copy.
And tell Lewis to just back off his pace a bit whilst the tyres overheat. Mary's buttons with Mike are slowly being pushed. Ah, don't say that, MJ, man. Of course you're part of the family. Anybody who subscribes to this channel and turns in, week out, like you guys do, are part of the family. Hey, man, like Super Kev back in the building. Bro, it's been a clean race so far, man. No safety cars. I think Vettel had a spin. Mick Schumacher had the spin, and the Ferraris have committed. The Ferraris have done a typical Ferrari, and basically given the race win away on strategy, because they were basically within 3 seconds of me. Well, I say me, Russell and Lewis, and they've decided to take a risk and go for the 2-stop. So they're both on stops, but they've literally got what 14 laps to make up a 24-second lead. It's impossible. So, yeah, man, things are looking good. Looks like it's going to be another Mercedes 1-2. And also, in the terms of the championship, I think Leclerc is leading it. So, if Leclerc is behind Sainz, it means Lewis is going to take more points off of him, which is good for the championship too. So, on that note, guys, what I'm going to do, since there's really not much going on, where are the Red Bulls? Oh, okay, Red Bull have a decent recovery. I think they also decided to do the 2-stop, and they did their undercut way earlier. So I think all we have to do now, guys, is just get the fastest lap for Lewis at some stage. And then, yeah, it will be good. So in fact, let's go on board with Lewis now. See what part of the lap he's on. Okay. Time to just take it easy. Prepare his tyres. Ooh, there's a yellow flag. Several cars in a crash. What's gonna happen, guys? Is there gonna be a safety car?
VSC.
Ooh, virtual safety car. I don't really think there's a point, guys. The tyres are still good. We've got 60% life on the tyres. With only, what, like 14 laps to go? And it's a virtual safety car. So, like, yeah, I think we should stay out. So, we're gonna ignore.
Like there's been contact.
Who crashed though?
Now we see Valtteri Bottas.
Okay. It's a bit far back, isn't he? Oh no!
Oh, there's chaos on the track.
Oh no! He took out his own teammate. Valtteri Bottas has taken out Zhou Guan Yu from the race. I know if Brooker Gaming was watching this, he'd be having an absolute meltdown. Because in his F1 career mode, he's managing Alfa Romeo, so, oh my days. That's really uncharacteristic of Bottas. You don't usually see him crash, and then take out his teammate too. Very bizarre. Either way, that's just going to help Lewis preserve his tyres. Just going to fast forward a bit. It's true, to be fair, you know, Donny. Christian Horner is like one of the, like, I've always said it, like, that is like one of the guys in F1. He always just like basically go beyond the grey lines to get away with whatever you can do. Even if it means, like, you know, like trying to protest other teams, saying stuff in the media to trigger people. He's just a villain. He's just a villain. But to be fair, this season Red Bull have just walked away with it, because Ferrari just haven't been good enough, to be honest. That's the truth. Right, now where's Lewis? Because ultimately, I would like Lewis to steal the fastest lap off of Max. One, because Max doesn't deserve it. And two, if we can get extra point on Leclerc in the championship, that'd be brilliant. So we're going to go into the onboard mode. And this is a hot lap from Lewis Hamilton, guys. I'm going to shut up for a second. Come on, Lewis, get that first purple sector. Ah, it's yellow. Come on, Lewis, come on. Really want Lewis to get the fastest lap. Alright, how's this middle sector going to be? Is it going to be purple? Yeah, purple middle sector. Come on, Lewis. Come on.
What a lap, man.
Understood.
Get in there, Lewis. Fastest lap. So now we're going to get extra point for the fastest lap too. Right, I'm going to tell Lewis to just take it easy. Don't want him to completely kill the tyres. Just back everything down. Mike says, my boy Horny, he didn't even say Horner, my boy Horny just says what he thinks, and if it offends people, that's not his problem. Man, I think people have a freedom of speech, but at the same time as well, I think there's times where he does push the boundaries a bit too far, bro. Like, he knows what he's doing as well. He deliberately does stuff to wind people up, and if you allow him to wind you up, he wins. So with people like that, just generally in life, guys, you just have to ignore them. But as a team principal, he does whatever it takes to win. And if that means ruffling a couple of feathers or kind of disrespecting people or being aggressive, that's what he's on. So, yeah, that's the mad thing about Christian.
We're going to push hard.
Copy.
We're not going to push too hard, mate, because I do want to see the car get to the end of the race.
Save fuel.
Yeah, copy.
Lazar said it's going to be really hard to drive a wet track on Imola. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's really difficult.
DRS has been enabled.
It's really difficult, man, especially with all the traction zones. So, yeah. Man like Trey in the building. What's going on, bro? Thank you so much for joining us as always, my guy. Man like Trey, you know. Legend. MJ said, Dens, make Mike cry. Take the fastest lap. We just did, man. We just did. This boy Verstappen is getting beat by Perez, so that's a good kind of day for me in the office. Troy said, yo gang, what's up Troy, man? Nice to see you inside here, as I said earlier, bro. Mary said, Mike, he's a liar, he's not an honest person. True. But at the end of the day, I guess if everything in F1 was just flowers and roses, we'd get a bit bored. So whilst I'm not his biggest fan, I do get the entertainment value, you know, of this Horner being a bit salty and kind of like playing into the drama that is Drive to Survive sometimes. Pavel said, how old are you, bro? I'm 26. I'm an old man, bro. I'm an old man. Nah. Old man, young in spirit, though. But yeah, 26, bro. Jess said, Dens, did you get your Silverstone tickets? No, Jess, honestly. Silverstone had a howler the other day because basically for a 3-day pass at Silverstone, you had to jump on a website, right? You click the link on the website and then it will put you in like a queue. So, alright, cool, you're in a queue. But sometimes you'd have to wait in the queue for like 3, 4, 6 hours. I think was one of the times I had to wait. And then the next thing that they decided to deploy as well, because there's such a high demand for Silverstone tickets next year, they had a thing called dynamic pricing, meaning that when you click on the website and you click on the quote and it says £350, obviously after 6 hours, the price fluctuates based on, you know, obviously demand and supply, or should I say supply and demand even, other way around. So yeah, like, the tickets I was going to go for are about £350, and then when I got to the end of the queue, ready to pay for them, they were like £678. I was like, hell no, I'm not paying that much money to go to Silverstone. When bear in mind, you have to camp as well, like, it's hard to get a hotel, it's hard to kind of get in there with the congestion as well. So yeah, unfortunately, it looks like I will not be going to Silverstone next year, which is sad, but having said that too, I think that there may be other Grand Prix on the calendar which are worthwhile the money, so I don't really feel too bad, to be fair. But yeah, did any of you guys get any Silverstone tickets? Let me know. Mary said, I would do a Nigel Ben on Horner for real. Jeez. And Mary said, yes, they go on sale in November. I think some of them are already on sale now, Mary. And Technical Kahoot said, come on, buddy. Yes, Technical Kahoot, man. Thank you so much for joining, bro. Thank you for the flowers as well, man. We love that. We love that, man. We love to see the love. We love to see the love, bro. Right, we should really put it on the timing screen just to see kind of where we are with the tires and the gaps. Jeez. So Lewis has actually pulled out a gap on science, because the gap was like 24 seconds. Now it's 26. So Lewis is in absolute GOAT mode right now. Mary, we might have to do that. We might have to camp together. But firstly, we need to get the damn tickets because they're so expensive. Super expensive. Troy said, what's up with the Indy F1 super license thing going on? Don't keep up with it enough. Bro, you haven't missed much at all, bro. Basically, the FIA chickened out and they're not going to grant Colton Herta a super license. So his opportunity to join F1, bro, has been ripped out of his hand, sadly, you know. Whilst I don't think, you know, the Colton's been the most amazing driver in the IndyCar season this year, he's much better than Stroll, and he's much better than, you know... Oh, another car has run wide. Yellow flag. Virtual safety car again. Another crash with multiple cars. Oh. Please, no safety car. Oh, it's a virtual safety car. And what's happened?
Now we see the Williams here.
Is it Latifi?
Goodness me, that is a
It had to be Latifi. It had to be Latifi. We're just speaking as well about dodgy drivers.
Really disappointed with that. Let's hope it doesn't set them back too badly.
Oh my days. This is like real life Williams though. They're probably really glad to see the back end of Latifi. And it is Latifi because now he's at the back of the grid. I don't know why it's paused, but yeah. Lazar said, I've never been to an F1 race, so I can have one question as to how loud F1 cars are. Yeah, man. I can imagine them being super loud, but that's kind of the fun of it too, man. Like, you know, the cars revving, the racing on circuit, the smell of the petrol. I'd love to go to F1 race at some stage, and hopefully I will. Hopefully next year. But sadly, it looks like it might not be my home race, because Silverstone obviously is the closest one to me, as I live in London, I live in the UK. But yeah, just one of those things. MJ said another Mercedes 1-2. Well, bro, let's not jinx it. We still got over 6 laps remaining, but we've got a 33-second lead on Ferrari, so everything seems to be in our back pocket. Troy said was trying to get what the hype was about it, low. And Tiffy, Oh, bro, had to be Latifi. Had to be Latifi, man. But yeah, you know what? Shout out to Williams as well, because usually I roast him quite a lot on the Stripping the Dipping podcast. As usual, check that podcast out. Link in the description. Bono tells us the safety car is going to end soon. But yeah, just they're showing signs of ambition. You know, I know that the team went through a lot of financial hardship. It was a privately owned team. Thank you, Bono. It was a privately owned team, you know, governed by Frank Williams. They went through their hardships as most of the sponsors walked away, so I get it. They needed some pay drivers to kind of keep the finances afloat, but you know, you've scraped the bottom of the barrel when you've gone for Nicholas Latifi. So I'm not gonna be sad at all when he leaves. Jess says, I'm tired of hearing about driver seats. I wish they would just announce the drivers and focus on the car slow. It's true, Jess, but again, the FIA kind of have to take responsibility for it too, because if they had granted Colton Herta that super license, I think Colton would have gone to AlphaTauri. Then obviously Red Bull would have released Gasly. Gasly could have gone to Alpine. And then that practically just leaves the Haas seat at... the Haas seat. Mick Schumacher's seat at Haas, the only kind of question on the grid. Because from what I'm hearing, it sounds like Uncle Gunter's not really too happy with Mick. Although his form has improved in the last couple of races. But yeah, because of the FIA and their unwillingness to kind of like, you know, let a driver from another series come in, it's just put a lot of brakes on the whole situation. Troy's reaction says it all. Yeah, I think we can all agree with Jess though. Like, it is becoming a bit of a palaver. It's one of those things where, like, you know, Daniel Ricciardo is saying that, you know, he wants to be in F1, but he's not just going to settle for any other team. But then, you know, there are no other teams that want to really take him. So, if he's not going to settle for Williams or a Haas, where else is he going to go? That's the question. Right, we keep getting warnings about the fuel, so I'm just going to tell...
And think about increasing the lift and coast just a little.
the boys just to take it easy on the fuel, just in case.
Please increase a lift and coast.
Yeah, Roger.
Just said he needed 8 points. 8 FP1 session, 8 points. Boom, he has enough points. True, but then he has to sacrifice his career in IndyCar, which, if there was a guaranteed seat in F1, sure, you'd take it. But to say that you're going to leave IndyCar where you have a decent career, you're going to go through the baptism of fire as a reserve driver, let's say, and then you're going to drive at AlphaTauri, which, to be honest, hasn't really, you know, made any strides this year. It's a tough one. If you want to be in F1 for the sake of being in F1, then I think ultimately that's what you're going to have to do. But I understand people's frustration as well, Jess, in the sense that how can people like Nicholas Latifi or Mazepin get into F1, and, you know, a driver like Colton Herta, which absolutely slaps Roman Grosjean, which, again, as much as we hate Crispy Nugget, he was a competent F1 driver, not get into F1. This is crazy. This is crazy. Alright, MJ, catch you later as well, man. Thank you for tuning.
DRS has been enabled.
Thank you for tuning in as always.
And 4 laps remain.
And Jess said, you cannot blame the FIA for teams doing things at the last minute. I can't stand the FIA. I think you can blame the FIA though, to be honest, Jess, because the FIA bend and break the rules whenever it suits them. You know, because they're saying, oh, we don't want Andretti in F1, but they're doing everything they can. They're bending over backwards to try and get Audi and Porsche into F1. So you can't have one rule when it suits you and then one other rule when it's not in your commercial interest. It doesn't make sense. And what really frustrates me is, like, you know, Liberty Media say that they want more of a presence in America. You've got an American driver which could go on the grid and absolutely dominate Yuki Tsunoda. I have no doubt that Colton Herta would slap Yuki Tsunoda silly. That was a bit close, whoever that Aston Martin was. And yet they still won't give, like, you know, they won't kind of like revise the system. It's cool, if you're going to say to Colton you've got to like take part in 8 FP1s, fair enough. But having said that, I think even with the teams, how many how many practice sessions are the teams obligated to give like a reserve driver? Because even Nick De Vries, obviously he's part of the Mercedes program, but he's only had like 3 FP1 runs. I think he's had 1 at Mercedes, 1 at Aston Martin. So it would take Cole and her like probably 2-3 seasons of testing.
3 laps remaining.
I think we're gonna make it on fuel, Bono. I don't know why you're so scared. Either way. Red Bull tried to get her in the back door. They had to though. They had to. And I don't really blame them either. Because, you know, he's talented. Whilst he's not... I just want to put it out there too, guys. I'm more of a Pato award guy. So, like, yeah. Whilst I'm more Team Pato than I am Team Herta. Herta is a breath of fresh air compared to some of the guys who got on the grid. From what I've seen, I think he would do way better than Zhou Guanyu. I think he'd do way better than Mazepin. I think he'd do way better than Mick Schumacher. I think he'd do way better than than Yuki Tsunoda. That's already like 4 or 5 drivers. So, and it's messed up too, because when Formula 1 drivers get washed up and they want to go to IndyCar, IndyCar welcomes them, you know, with open arms. So why does the FIA have this kind of old, like, elitist mentality where they think they're too good to take drivers from other series? I'll never know. All I do know is that when Lewis retires, boy, I think the FIA are in, FIA and Liberty Media, they're in for a shock. Because I think a lot of people are going to start watching other series. Just said, how many Indy race car week? Let me get my words out.
And 2 more laps.
Understood.
How many IndyCar races overlapped with F1 race weekends? I think there's a few. Just to think on the top of my head, I know for a fact that the Indy 500 clashes with Monaco. And bear in mind as well, you can't miss the Indy 500 because for that you get double points. Imagine the only reason why, like, was it Marcus Ericsson? Marcus Ericsson was in the championship fight this season because he got double points at the Indy 500 special event. So it's a thing where it would be really difficult to be an F1 driver and, you know, a full-time IndyCar driver too. I think as it is, you know, like Colton and Pato are barely getting away with it because they've done some private tests for McLaren in, I think, the previous year's McLaren. But yeah, it's just a messed up one, and it just means that there's going to be no variety on the grid because, cool, Nick De Vries is going to come in and he's just going to be at Williams, so, you know, whilst obviously it's good for him to get opportunity, he's not going to be challenging for race wins. He might be in the midfield, but more times than not, I just think he's going to be kind of at the back of the midfield because the Williams isn't really there yet either, and there's only certain tracks which it suits. Trey said, the fries, mother... Yeah, the fries, motherfucker.
And 1 more lap.
Get in there, Lewis. Lewis in the final lap. If it was the old rules for the super license when Max would have got in, but F1 when he did, yeah, true. Still got Piastri hype to come. Yep, true. That's true as well, Mary. But again, I think even with Piastri, there's going to be a lot of pressure there because he's taken Daniel Ricciardo's seat. There's a lot of Ricciardo fans out there now which are going to hold Piastri to the same standards that Ricciardo is being held to. Even though technically they shouldn't because he's a rookie. But either way, if Piastri is matching Lando or beating Lando, then I think that's good. I think if he comes in and he's getting absolutely demolished by Lando, I think after a couple of seasons he's going to be in a bit of trouble. So Nick De Vries, not Nick De Vries, sorry. I think I'm getting lost with names now. Oh my god. Piastri's going to definitely have to come out of the gates competitively. I'm not saying he has to get podiums or anything unrealistic like that, but I think he would definitely have to try and match Lando. And to be fair, it should be that way, because when Lewis came into F1 as a rookie at McLaren, people expected him to, to be honest, people underestimate Lewis as he comes across the checkered flag. Gonna wait for it, guys. Wait for it.
We have checkered flag now.
Way.
What a great job, guys.
Get in there, Lewis, man.
But we'll have a chat later.
Another Mercedes 1-2. Let's go. Excellent finish. Excellent finish. Love to see it. We absolutely demolished the Ferraris as well with the one stop. And just says, I'm just saying, if the teams really wanted him in, they would just have to fly him into FP1 sessions to get the points. But the point system needs to be fixed. Absolutely, and I agree with you on that. That's why I definitely agree with you on just, it definitely needs restructuring. And maybe in the future, they could look to maybe see IndyCar as like a pathway into F1. Because at the end of the day, they're both open wheel formulas. So, you know, who's to say that if a Pato O'Ward, a Scott McLaughlin, a Colton Herta comes into F1, they won't be as promising, they won't be as exciting as the drivers we already have on the grid. You see what the IndyCar races are like every week as well, Jess, and you see like how spontaneous and how like crazy the races are. So, you know, I'd like the FIA to at least consider it. I don't think they should just like look down on the IndyCar guys just because it's IndyCar, because that's not right. Lazar said, would you like more, F1 Manager or Goat Mode Championship? To be honest, bro, like in terms of obviously this, like the simulations, obviously I like driving the cars, but I do like F1 Manager too, because
This is a result truly
hold on,
worthy
we'll let
of
Lewis have his
champion
moment.
For Lewis Hamilton.
He's so happy. Love to see it.
A spot on the podium is exactly what the team deserved, and they got it.
Russell looks so sad. Oh my god.
The highly decorated record breaker from Stevenage once again taking to the podium.
Yeah, boy. Love to see it. Absolutely love it. But yeah, as I was saying before, I love F1 Manager because it gives me actually a bit of time to chat with you guys as well, have proper conversations, interact with you. It's a lot of fun, you know?
Mercedes once again showing why they're one of the biggest names in F1.
You're completely right, and what a day for all the fans of the team as well.
At the end of the weekend, it's second place in the constructor standings for them.
Coming up next, we'll be crossing the pond all the way to Texas for the twists and turns of the United States Grand Prix.
Yeah, boy. Okay, so first and second, Lewis got extra point even for the fastest lap. So that's nice. Where are we in the championship? Wow. Okay. Closing in on Charles Leclerc there. So I'm going to do the quick maths on the stream. So if Charles has 299 points, Lewis has 276. Guys, we're within 25 points of Charles. More specifically, there's a 23 point gap. So we could still win the championship for Lewis, guys. That's going to be amazing. That's going to be super cool. As I mentioned before, for George, I think maybe it's a bit too late. I think maybe the best he'll be able to do, maybe P4, hopefully P3. But looking strong for Lewis. Looking very strong for Lewis. Constructors as well. Ooh, 559. Okay. And we're 518. 41 points behind Ferrari in the championship. Okay, the constructors. So that one, I think it's going to be more tight. But who knows, guys? I think we stand a chance. We just have to hope that the rest of the races are good to us. Hopefully we don't get caught up in too much drama. With Valtteri Bottas taking out Zhou Guanyu as well. Alpine have gained a position in the championship as well, which is good. Let me go back to some of the comments as well. Jess said, I like IndyCar, but these damn commercials happening in the middle of races. Oh my gosh, Jess, you sound exactly like Mike, because he says the same thing too. Mike watches the races through sources. I'm not going to reveal those sources. But yeah, in the UK though, we don't get the commercial breaks. They basically, during the race, we get like the NBC commentary, and then during the commercials, they still show you the on-track action, but then we have like an English pundit or like an English commentator that does the commentary during the commercial break. So it's not too bad. Mary said, "Yes, get in there, Lewis." Haven't heard that in ages. I know, Mary. I hope that we can hear that message soon. It'd be beautiful to hear. Lazar said, "Good job. Thank you so much, bro. Thank you. It means a lot, man. Thank you." Man, it's not easy, and at the beginning of this championship, guys, you're making mistakes. We didn't understand the game. You know, our car was really slow, but we've made some really, really positive headway, so it's looking good. Trey said, "Nice. Thank you, bro. Thank you." Dunny said, "Took me a while to discover the advantages of DD versus motor-driven racing wheels." Yep, Dunny, I'm in the same boat as well, to be honest, man. Like, there's so much technology out there, and with the sim racing stuff, there's always something on the market, bro. So I tend not to try and keep up with it too much, or else you end up bankrupt. But you know, it's nice as well when you save up some money and you can, you know, put it towards it. So yeah, man, I'm gonna be looking forward to seeing your streams too, when you eventually get the rig all put together and you've got your nice new direct drive sim racing wheel as well. But anyway, guys, so let's move forward then. So Lewis gets 360 development. Russell gets 932. So we earned 5 million in sponsors, but again, because of the bonuses and Lewis's contract and George's contract as well, we only walk away with a measly 1.8. So it's crazy, but at least we're making money, which is good. And guys, we only have a couple of races left, man. It's nuts. It's really crazy. Let's look. Standings. How do we see it? I just want to see the races. Okay, there we go. So guys, we've got 3 episodes left of the season, I think. Actually, no, 4. Okay. We've got the United States Grand Prix, the Mexican Grand Prix, the Brazil Grand Prix, which I'm really looking forward to, and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix as well. So, guys, there's a lot to play for. It's a lot to play for. I think we might be able to, you know, secure the championship for Lewis. It'll be fun to read some of these emails as well. So Bono's come back and said, you know, they've updated the data on our performance at the Japanese Grand Prix. On a separate note, the telemetry is showing that we can improve the engine cooling of the car. So something for us to focus on in the future. We noticed that the smoothness of Lewis Hamilton could be improved. Hey, Bono, chill, man, chill. Don't you know Lewis is the original smooth operator? You can't say that. We should consider developing him in this area, and they've gained enough experience to make them a well-rounded driver. Fair enough. The board congratulating us again on another Mercedes 1-2. Love to see it. And yeah, the media are quite happy with us as well. Talking about Lewis getting pole and managing to maintain the lead, securing another fantastic victory. So it's all good, it's all good, it's all good. We all love it. We all love it. So let's see what's up on the calendar then. So some sponsorship stuff. I think we're gonna get something new's coming. So we'll see what that's about. Man, there's a bit of space. Let's see what's gonna happen. Okay, so we made some spare side pods in case we get taken out by Max Verstappen, because that kind of thing does happen. Okay, there's a couple bits here. So it's telling us that our hospitality area is in poor condition. So let's try and refurbish it, because we don't really have a lot of money right now. Yep, gonna refurbish that. And let's go back to the emails. Up and coming drivers. We're in for quite a weekend. Okay, no, that's the top one, sorry. Our scouts have been on the lookout for upcoming talent, and Arthur Leclerc is standing out with a lot of potential. I will attach some information in this email. Arthur Leclerc, you know. What do you guys think? I had Felipe Drogovic kind of on the back burner, because I think it probably makes sense to replace De Vries with Drogovic, train Drogovic up, and then by the time Lewis retires, maybe in a season or two. But yeah, Arthur Leclerc, I don't know. He's been in F3 for a couple of years now, and he hasn't progressed into F2. So that's the first red flag. And then the other red flag is that, man, he's Charles Leclerc's brother. So if you really want a job, you can go to Ferrari, bro. Why are you coming to Mercedes for? Yeah. Let's see. Mike Elliott. You're on Fraud Watch as well, you know, Mike. You. Not Mike Fowler, Mike Elliott. Because this guy, too, he's not the best aerodynamicist we can potentially buy. I'll show you guys something. So if we go on head of aerodynamics, Mike Elliott. Oh, wait, no. Okay. So, technical chief. Where is he? So Mike Elliott is, let's do it in rating. So Mike Elliott is not the first best technical chief, not the second, not the third, not the fourth, not the fifth. He's the sixth. He's the sixth, chief technical guy, So we can go to Red Bull, we can go to Ferrari, we can even try and pinch Williams is technical director, although he's 52 years old, so it might be hard to get him on a contract. But yeah, Mike Elliott, if we don't win this championship, Mike, your days are numbered. Oh no, but yeah. Oh wait, he's got a 2-year contract too, so I guess if we are gonna replace him, it might be tricky. But either way, let's see. Let's upgrade your knowledge on Cypods. But yeah, bro, you got to get your numbers up, Mikey boy. It's not looking too good for you. Let me read some of these comments as well. Lazar, thank you so much, man, and I hope on the way out you slap the like button as well, bro. That support would mean a lot. But yeah, I'll obviously be back for the GOAT Mode Championship a bit later. Donny said the difference between the two for me is the occasional slip of the motor driven wheels that affects the consistency of your lap, having to adjust during your lap, although the slight impacts your race. Yep. So Donny's talking about his sim racing upgrade, which is cool. Just saying no. So I imagine that no is in relation to good old Arthur Leclerc. And Mary said no as well with an apostrophe. See the apostrophe? You see what Mary did? She added just a little bit of sauce there. The no with the apostrophe. So fair enough. What else is there to do before the Circuit of Americas? Okay, so yeah, we're on the race weekend. So next time you guys see the manager mode, we'll be in Texas for the Circuit of the Americas, Dakota Grand Prix. But guys, as always, thank you so much for your love, your support. It means a lot. It's so cool catching up with you guys as well. We're in for a bit of a hard one later this evening when we do our GOAT Mode Championship with Lewis and myself. It's going to be a rainy day in Imola, so that's going to be tricky. But hopefully we can keep it on the road and get some good points. Because engine failure in Australia should really put us in the back foot. But as always, big shout out to Jess, big shout out to Mary, big shout out to MJ, big shout out to Donny, big shout out to Lazar. Big shout out as well to Kevin as well, that was in here earlier too. Just big shout out to all the legends as well. You guys make this a really amazing experience, and it wouldn't be possible without you, as I always say. So until next time, guys, take it easy. It's been your boy AMG Dance. I'll catch you guys in about 4 hours time, 3 hours time maybe, 3 to 4 hours. Catch you guys soon. Until next time, or until a couple of hours, it's been your boy. Peace.